Tonight, a murder trial begins. The case surrounding a triple stabbing in Kitchener almost 3 years ago is underway in court. A tragic crash.
It's definitely shaken people in the neighborhood, and there have been a lot of near misses at this intersection.
Puts an intersection in focus.
We've been concerned about this intersection, about this street, the lack of crossing.
The petition in Guelph following a fatal collision. Stories from a Sunday night storm.
And that's when it just turned ugly, like in like a minute.
A quick but powerful blast of weather.
And a giant tree landed on my house.
Leaves its mark on parts of the region. Good evening. A murder trial connected to a triple stabbing in Kitchener nearly 3 years ago began today. Dylan Moreira has pleaded not guilty to second-degree murder in the death of his girlfriend and attempted murder in the stabbings of his mother and his girlfriend's 7-year-old daughter. CTV's Spencer Turcotte has more from day one of this trial.
Nearly 3 years after a triple stabbing on Cayley Court in Kitchener, the trial begins for the man accused of carrying out that stabbing. In November 2022, then 30-year-old Dylan Moreira was charged and arrested in the murder of his 41-year-old girlfriend and the attempted murder of his own 51-year-old mother and his girlfriend's 7-year-old daughter. As the trial began, Justice Gibson gave Moreira permission to sit outside the prisoner's box and beside his lawyer as long as he remained shackled. Moreira has pleaded not guilty to second-degree murder and multiple counts of attempted murder and aggravated assault. First on the stand was Waterloo Regional Police Detective Matthew McPherson. Court was shown pictures McPherson took of Moreira and his mother in hospital on the night of the alleged stabbing, showing their injuries and also images of bloodstains throughout the house where the alleged incident took place. McPherson was asked to clarify at points why certain pictures were taken as part of the forensics investigation and whether certain images shown to court did indeed show blood spatters. While the Crown aims to prove intent for the second-degree murder and attempted murder charges, defense lawyer Stephen Gale told court one of the issues that will affect intent over the course of the trial has to do with Moreira's mental state and the fact that he was allegedly hearing voices at the time of the stabbings. The coroner who performed the autopsy on Moreira's deceased girlfriend is expected to take the stand tomorrow. 3 weeks have been set aside for the trial. Spencer Turcotte, CTV News Kitchener.
A community in Guelph is grieving the loss of a 38-year-old mother after she was fatally struck by a pickup truck on Friday afternoon while walking with her family. CTV's Alexandra Hollick joins us now live from Alma Street and Paisley Road where it happened. Alexandra, you spoke with people who live nearby and know the family. What did they have to tell you?
They say they're heartbroken, Tony, and if you could see just behind me here, a memorial of flowers has only grown over the last few days at all four corners of Alma and Paisley. The tragic incident prompting a call for action from the community. Bouquets and butterflies adorn the four corners of Guelph's Alma Street and Paisley Road, placed in memory of a 38-year-old mother hit by a pickup truck while walking with her family.
It's tragic and heartbreaking, and so many are deeply affected.
It happened just before 5 o'clock Friday afternoon. Police say the woman, her husband, and their 3-year-old daughter were crossing the street when they were struck by a driver making a turn at the light.
The driver did remain on scene. It was a 19-year-old from Northern Ontario. He did stop immediately after the collision and remained on scene and spoke with officers.
The family was taken to Guelph General Hospital, where the mother died from her injuries. Her husband wasn't seriously injured, and their daughter was airlifted to a Hamilton Trauma Center as a precaution. Both have since been released.
We're not sure exactly how this collision occurred. That'll be part of the investigation.
The incident leaving those who live nearby in disbelief.
There have been a lot of near misses at this intersection, and so the fact that somebody lost their life has really, people have felt it really deeply. Sorry.
Enough is enough. It has to stop.
Neighbors launching a petition pushing for a traffic safety review.
We are asking for some more up-to-date traffic studies and safety studies for this area so that we can figure out what to do in order to slow and calm motorized traffic in the area and make it safer for pedestrians and cyclists.
Guelph police offering this advice.
If you're a pedestrian, make eye contact with drivers and vice versa, so everyone is aware of where all other road users are.
The community coming together in grief to support each other and the victim's family.
Nothing we say or do will ever be enough, but we will do our best to love and support you during this time.
Police say no charges have been laid at this point and the investigation is still ongoing. They're urging anyone who may have witnessed the crash or have dash cam or surveillance footage to come forward. Tony?
Okay, Alexandra, thank you. CTV's Alexandra Hollick joining us live from Guelph tonight. Well, next, the aftermath of two nasty storms that whipped through the region, one last night and another this morning. A lot of wind, rain, and lightning really leaving their mark. Flooded roads, fallen limbs, even a fire that was set off by a lightning strike. CTV's Jeff Pickle live with us now outside on a much calmer day, at least this afternoon. Jeff, the damage, it wasn't widespread, but it certainly was bad in some areas.
Well, Tony, last night's storm in particular with that lightning, multiple lightning strikes across the area included, as mentioned, setting fire at a home in Kitchener. Plenty of other damage across where that swarm swept through to vehicles and homes as well. No one injured as a result, but a big mess to clean up. It was a messy ride into work in some parts of Waterloo Region. Though it may not compare to Sunday night when heavy winds and rain seemingly came out of nowhere.
It started to get pretty black, and then we felt a few drops of rain, and we decided we better pack it in, go in, and we just got in, and that's when it just turned ugly, like in like a minute.
On Sept Drive in Kitchener, the storm leaving a path of destruction.
It was crazy how fast. And then we heard a big snap in the back, and another tree went down over there.
Well, Brett had minimal damage to his property. Ryan was not so lucky.
About 2 minutes later, a loud thud happened, and a giant tree landed on my house.
Still waiting to determine the full extent of the damage, he says last night was a storm unlike he has ever witnessed.
Last night was pretty intense. Yeah, we took our dogs to the basement and hid with the candle lights because there was no power.
Over on Yellow Birch Drive in Kitchener.
Well, it got really dark, and then all of a sudden lightning started, thunder started.
The Kitchener Fire Department confirming a lightning strike set off a house fire. The homeowner telling us off camera if it wasn't for the firefighters, he likely would have lost his home. Neighbors still shaken today.
You could feel it on the window, like the thunder was just rattling.
No one was injured, but the damage to the home was extensive. And with the cleanup happening in neighborhoods across the city.
And today I've been working, trying to pick up the mess, and I'm on my lunch break right now. So
a feeling of relief for many that it wasn't worse. And as for that fire on Yellow Birch, the homeowner says the firefighters got there in 4 to 5 minutes, likely saving his home and possibly the houses on either side that could have got wrapped up in that, and he calling those firefighters heroes. Tony?
As they often are. Okay, Jeff Pickle, thanks so much for that. Appreciate that recap. And now let's join Ashley Bacon in studio, who's on weather duty today. And what a day to be jumping into weather duties. Well, we've got our own stories about where we were during the storm. We'll get into that a bit later.
Absolutely.
But I know you've got a closer look at what some people experienced.
I do. I wanted to take a moment before we get into what's happening right now with weather. Let's have a look at some amazing photos that viewers have sent in from last night's storm as it rolled through the region. You can see the huge storm shelf forming, and now, as we know, Tony, it came with plenty of wind and rain. Our digital news team has put together a gallery online. Just head to our website, ctvnewskitchener.ca. All right, let's now take time to look at our satellite. You can see that band of wet stuff is still lingering in the area, and it's not going away anytime soon. So there is a chance for some precipitation that's going to linger basically through the remainder of the work week. So keep those umbrellas handy. You might even want some rubber boots because it's going to start to get a bit muddy out. Over the next 24 hours or so, 48 hours, we're still expected to see 15 millimeters of the wet stuff in Kitchener-Waterloo region fall. That is not going to be the end of it. As I mentioned, I'll have more details on when and how much rain we're going to see a little bit later in the show. But for right now, 22 degrees, very comfortable out there. I'm sure no one's complaining for the first day of fall. Tony.
Lots to talk about on this first day of a new season. Okay, Ash, thank you very much. An elected official in this province is facing assault charges after a weekend arrest. Chris Scott is a rookie member of provincial parliament. Well, today he was booted from the Conservative caucus, and tonight there are calls for him to resign his seat altogether. CTV's Queen's Park correspondent Siobhan Morris has more.
Please get out and vote for Chris Scott.
That was the Premier campaigning with Chris Scott and Sault Ste. Marie in February. 7 months later, the rookie MPP finds himself on the outs with the Progressive Conservative Party.
Chris will be no longer sitting with our caucus.
It means Scott will sit as an independent when the legislature reconvenes next month. The 35-year-old removed from the PC caucus after he was criminally charged over the weekend. Chris Scott now faces a charge of assault and assault with a weapon. He's been released on $5,000 bail. A publication ban limits what we can share about the case. Scott is a former advisor to the Premier's office, but Doug Ford said little about the charges.
I was informed literally in the parking lot as we're going through here. And yeah, go to the Sault Ste. Marie police. I don't want to interfere in a police investigation.
Police in the Sioux say the arrest was carried out by Toronto police and that they're refraining from sharing more to protect the identity of any victim or victims. Scott created a stir when it was announced he'd carry the PC banner in Sault Ste. Marie, accused of being a parachute candidate. He won the election by a little over 100 votes over the NDP challenger.
Feels incredibly humbling.
Scott went on to be appointed parliamentary assistant to the Minister of Energy and Mines.
Global demand for these critical minerals is only going up.
That title and party designation gone. His office dark. New Democrats say Scott needs to resign immediately.
And that was Siobhan Morris with that report. Well, the Premier reiterated his call today for the federal government to get involved in solutions for homeless encampments. He was in Eastern Ontario, and he was asked this morning about touring an encampment in Barrie over the weekend, and he expressed frustration about encampments in public parks and spaces.
I'm tired of these encampments taking over communities. People are terrified to walk down the street because they get harassed for money for drugs. We want our communities back. We want our towns back and our cities back. And I'm not going to let less than 1% of the people hijack the whole system. I'm done with it.
Ford's tour of that Barrie encampment area over the weekend came after the local mayor declared a state of emergency to address concerns surrounding encampments. A bakery stand in Puslinch that runs on the honor system says that trust was put to the test over the weekend. The owner of the rustic oven says about $140 worth of product was stolen, and it was all caught on camera. CTV's Hannah Schmidt now live with more on this story. Hannah, not the first time this business has been hit by theft.
Yeah, that's right, Tony. The owner says this is the third significant incident that's occurred since she opened up shop in the springtime. But she says thanks to surveillance cameras she installed and help from the local community, this latest case ended a whole lot differently.
At the rustic oven stand in Puslinch, shelves of baked goods and farm fresh eggs are sold on the honor system. No staff, no tills, just trust.
So I have a money box so people can either pay cash or e-transfer, and then my e-transfer's in the stand. It's been fantastic. People are awesome.
But recently that trust was put to the test. After 2 thefts earlier this year, Saunders decided to install a camera.
I think having a camera is really important. I think you have to be pretty careful. It's amazing to do the honor system, but at the same time, it opens you up to a lot of risk of people taking advantage.
That camera caught a man taking approximately $140 worth of items without paying on Sunday afternoon.
I saw him take about 6 banana breads, and then I proceeded to keep watching, and then I saw him go to the egg stand and grab more eggs, and then he came back and grabbed 3 boxes of muffins. It's like, okay, maybe he'll come back and still pay, you know, but then nothing really happened.
She posted the image online, garnering hundreds of comments and shares.
I was blown away. I thought, okay, a couple people might see it and, you know, whatnot, just to kind of also get the message out there.
Soon after, the man reached out.
Someone must have recognized him or whatnot and messaged him, and then he was able to get back to me. He e-transferred. He said that the email was incorrect or something. It wasn't able to go or something of that sort.
Since then, the community has rallied around the rustic oven, many stopping by to show support and keep the stand going.
I knew I had a good community, but it just astonished me how awesome people were.
Saunders says she hopes the camera will deter any future thefts, but she's choosing to focus on the many customers who continue to prove that honesty outweighs dishonesty.
I am looking at getting a camera that is better for license plates that will, I don't know, it's just a lot clearer and it gives you the exact plate numbers. I really like what I'm doing, and you know, you gotta take the bad with the good. It's the pros outweigh all the negative.
Saunders says one bad experience won't stop her from serving the community, and that rustic oven's shelves will stay open, and so will her faith in the honor system. Tony.
Okay, Hannah Schmidt, thank you so much for that. And start your day in the know with the CTV Kitchener newsletter, the day's top stories, the latest weather forecast, and some must-see videos. It's all in one place. Sign up at ctvnewskitchener.ca. A pledge to help thousands more people in Ontario find family doctors. Coming up, the health minister opens the next chapter in a plan to set up more primary health teams and connect them with people who need them.
I'm Krista Simpson with details about a plan to move students in a French immersion program at one Waterloo school to another. Why the Catholic School Board says the change is needed and why families with students in the program are raising concerns. That story is just ahead.
Well, keep those umbrellas handy. More showers are expected in our region. I'll have when, where, and how much coming up a little later in the show.
Hi, I'm Jason Peffer, Business Manager of UA Local 527 Southwestern Ontario. At the UA, we believe if you have the opportunity to help someone, you have the obligation to do so. And that's what we do at Local 527. Our members work in the auto industry, manufacturing, nuclear power plants, schools, and hospitals in your community, just to name a few. When people ask me, what are the advantages of joining the UA versus being independent? Typically within the union, there are higher wages, better benefits, better pension, and greater opportunity with an organization that has your back. Working in the trades is not for everyone, but if you think you have what it takes, both physically and mentally, it can become a very rewarding career. If you'd like to join Local 527, go to ua527.com.
The Trades, brought to you by UA Local 527.
Trustees at the Waterloo Catholic District School Board will hear tonight about a plan that will see the French immersion program at one Waterloo elementary school move to another. Let's go to CTV's Krista Simpson now, live with more on that story. Krista.
Well, Tony, there are 141 students currently enrolled in the French immersion program at Holy Rosary Catholic Elementary School on Thorndale Drive in Waterloo. The board says the school is over capacity with 8 portables required to accommodate the student population. Parking is also a challenge. The report going to trustees tonight is outlining a plan to move the French immersion program at Holy Rosary to St. Nicholas Catholic Elementary School on Laurelwood Drive, which is also currently over capacity, but not as much, and only has 3 portables right now with space to add more. The report suggests the move happen for the school year that starts next September, but families with students in the program aren't pleased, saying the students would be uprooted, and they are not convinced that this is actually solving the overcapacity concerns. A spokesperson for the school board says this is a decision that is being made by staff at the board, and the hope is that consultation with those impacted will help with the rollout of the plan. They say it was important to them to keep all the French immersion learners at the school together.
One of our goals was we have a community of learners and we don't want to separate them either. So it seemed like the best bet was to relocate them as a collective. Our hope is that we can help shape the rollout of this plan with parent consultation and community engagement. And the how is kind of what we're hoping to engage with families on.
As for how that process is expected to unfold, the trustees are hearing about the plan tonight, and then the board will gather feedback online and at an open house. Then it is anticipated the next steps will be presented to trustees at their meeting at the end of October. Tony.
Okay, Krista Simpson reporting live. Krista, thank you for that. The province has opened its latest round of applications as part of a $2.1 billion plan to create and expand primary care teams. The Ford government says the latest phase of its primary care action plan will connect 500,000 more people with family doctors or a primary care team. The province says its goal is to connect every Ontarian by 2029.
I am thrilled to share that the Healthcare Connect waitlist has already decreased by more than 98,000 people, over 42%.
Wow.
Our plan is working.
We are making real progress. We are attaching more people to primary care and strengthening our primary care system. Together, we are building a system that is truly comprehensive, convenient, and connected, and one that will serve every person in Ontario.
The Ford government says it expects to announce the successful teams in the spring, and then there will be additional opportunities to apply through subsequent rounds of funding. Okay, back outside we go now to a live look from Guelph. Our photographer Dave Pettit bringing us this shot from Guelph this evening. It's remained a pretty cloudy day with that threat of showers just lingering over us for most of the day. We barely saw any sunshine peeking through today. Ashley's back in just a couple of moments to let us know how the first week of fall is expected to unfold weather-wise. And also coming up, deals and meals in the palm of your hands. A University of Waterloo student hoping to shake up your grocery shopping with artificial intelligence. Next, though, the Prime Minister's first appearance as PM at the UN General Assembly, with Canada's position known on Palestinian statehood. So, where does the conversation go from here? That's coming up next.
Your Kitchener Rangers are back for another exciting season, and CTV Kitchener has your chance to win tickets. Want to see the Rangers take on the Owen Sound Attack October 3rd? Enter now for your chance to win at ctvkitchener.ca.
All right, back on a much calmer Monday night than that Sunday night. You and I were both actually...
We both got stuck in it.
On the 401.
Yes.
It was crazy.
It was. I had just left the 401 onto Highway 8 coming into Kitchener, and I could see the shelf of storm in front of me, and I'm like, please just give me 15 minutes to get home. It didn't. I had to stop right on the highway, as did everyone else, four ways on for about 10 minutes, because it was just so hard.
And I was later than you. I was coming back from News Channel, so I did all the way from Scarborough to here last night during that.
Oh, gosh.
And I'm going through Mississauga, and I mean, I thought my car was going to get swept off the road.
Yes. I don't know what it was like to be in a tornado, and I hope to never find out, because that's as close to it as I like. It was not pleasant.
So,
yes, on that fun note.
On that transition of the seasons, as wild as it was, hopefully we've got something to look forward to later this week.
Well, happy first day of fall, everyone. Let's take a look outside. You can see, Tony, it is still very gray and kind of, you know, ominous out there. But in saying so, it is a lot calmer. We're not going to see that burst storm as we did last night come through. And this is absolutely gorgeous shot from Guelph. Thank you, Dave, our cameraman, for sending that in tonight. So as I mentioned, it is going to continue to be wet over the next few days. So you're not going to want to pack those umbrellas away. It's going to linger. Now, in regards to intensity, this is where we start our future cast. So starting this evening, we can see as it pushes through tomorrow, there's bands precipitation, but I just wanted to pause here on Tuesday night. You can see there may be a pretty intense storm coming through around the Mount Forest area. So keep an eye out. You know, this is still 24 hours away, if not more. So make sure you could check back in. That could change. But at this point, it looks like Tuesday night, we could see another band of intense storms potentially rolling through the area. And again, by Wednesday, that wet stuff is still coming through. We're expecting another 15 or so millimeters of rain through our region over the next 72 hours or so. Again, those forecasted amounts could swing back and forth a little bit just as these storms pick up and decrease, and of course, winds shifting out of the way. Right now, we're sitting at 22 degrees in Kitchener-Waterloo. That's a little bit warmer than we've experienced. Down in the south, it is still seeing some warmer temperatures as well. And here closer to home, Vancouver 17, Montreal 21, St. John's 14. So a great start to fall for most of the Canadian countryside. Looking at our almanac, records can swing both ways. They're looking at 29.6 back in 2019, so it could be a lot warmer. Now, a cooler side of things back in 1974, minus 1.7 as an overnight low. Now, what you're about to see is that tonight is going to be a lot more comfortable than that. 15 degrees, but 60% chance for showers. So it might even feel a bit muggy. There's a good chance for some fog patches in the morning, so make sure you have your headlights on and take care. Tomorrow's high, we're looking at 23 degrees and about a 40% chance for showers. So again, that wet stuff is going to linger, but it's not going to be as intense for the next 24 hours or so. By Wednesday in Waterloo region, you're looking at 22 degrees and again 14 overnight. Thursday, showers continuing, a little bit cooler, 20 degrees, but still above the average this time of year, which is 18. On Friday, that sun is going to try and make an appearance, looking at a high of 22. And then, Tony, by the weekend, 23 and sunny. So not a bad way to round out your first week of fall here in Waterloo region. In Lambton, Kent, Essex, similar conditions. Chance for thunderstorms for your Tuesday. Showers continuing into your Wednesday and Thursday. A high of 22 on Thursday with the sun returning by Friday and 24. And look at that, 25 and 24 expected for the weekend. Not too bad. And wrapping up our 7-day forecast in southern Georgian Bay, 21 with a mix of showers for Tuesday and Wednesday, 20 for Thursday, 21 again on Friday with the sun, and that sun returning for the weekend. Not too bad at all. All right, let's take a look at our Weather Watcher photo. And, you know, I thought we'd take a little break from storm photos and look at this peaceful mushroom that Kim sent in. Tony, I just thought it felt like the calm after the storm.
Certainly does. Yeah, that's a much more serene picture than the scenes we've been seeing over the last 24 hours.
I thought we needed a little calming after all of that heightened activity and anxiety from our drive home last night.
I like it. I like it. It's a bit of a reset as we start a new season.
Exactly.
Okay, Ash, thank you so much.
Thank you.
World leaders are in New York City this week at the UN for the 80th General Assembly, and front and center is the question of Palestinian statehood. More than 150 countries now, including most recently Canada, have said they will recognize it. It's a political decision, though, and one that now puts several G7 countries in conflict with both Israel and the U.S. CTV's Judy Trin reports.
As we meet, civilians are targeted and international law trampled in Gaza, the Ukraine, Sudan, and beyond.
As the 80th session of the United Nations General Assembly opens, growing support for Palestinian statehood dominates the agenda. 3 G7 nations, Britain, France, and Canada, are recognizing the state of Palestine to apply political pressure to end the war in Gaza.
We have to push on this now because, as I say, the possibility in absolute violation of the UN Charter and in absolute violation of international law of self-determination for the Palestinian peoples is being erased.
Carney says Hamas would not have a role in governance. Instead, Canada, in a coordinated effort with like-minded countries, will work with the Palestinian Authority in the West Bank toward a two-state solution in a plan for peace that could also call for troops.
There are many proposals, as I suspect you're aware, from a variety of Arab states, combination of Arab states and European states, to which Canada would be party.
It has been nearly 2 years since the October 7th attacks, but Israel's prime minister has vowed not to stop the war until Hamas is eradicated.
The starvation and devastation are utterly intolerable.
It is not diplomacy. When Hamas is praising this conference and calling it the fruit of October 7th, we know it's a problem.
4 of the 5 permanent members of the UN Security Council Britain, France, Russia, and China recognize Palestine, except for the United States.
He feels this does not do anything to release the hostages, which is the primary goal right now in Gaza, does nothing to end this conflict and bring this war to a close. And frankly, he believes it's a reward to Hamas.
U.S. President Donald Trump will make his stance clear when he speaks in front of the UN General Assembly on Tuesday. Right now, 150 nations recognize the state of Palestine, but the one country that has the most influence on Israel, the United States, does not. Judy Trin, CTV News, New York.
A Waterloo Region charity's work to help the global hunger crisis. Coming up on this week's edition of Made Right Here, we visit a cannery where an international effort begins.
You see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400. From your screen to ours. Text 10400.
A University of Waterloo student is using AI to help families save money at the grocery store. She's created an app that not only finds the best deals near you, but also helps you decide what's on the menu and makes a shopping list for you. CTV's Heather Senerin has had a chance to check this out and speak with her. Well, Heather, the idea for this, we should note, came about pretty unexpectedly.
The creator says she lost a co-op job offer and was looking for another way to get the credit needed to graduate. So she entered a pitch contest at the Conrad School of Entrepreneurship and Business and won $5,000. Money used to make Scrimp, an app that helps others save money.
Canada's food price report predicted that the average family of four would spend about $16,000 a year on groceries in 2025. But this University of Waterloo student is hoping to put a dent in the affordability crisis.
People can't really control like their car insurance or their rent or their utilities, but grocery bills felt like something we could actually tackle, or something that there are resources not being taken advantage of that people could interact with to make their shopping a little bit easier.
Henrietta Van Niekerk took money earned from a pitch contest and various other programs to create Scrimp, your very own AI sous chef and shopping assistant.
From flyer to meal plan to actionable list of items that you can buy, Scrimp uses AI to sort of connect all of these things for you so that grocery shopping and affordability becomes like a really easy 3-click process to solve. $2.92 to make this meal.
She says the savings could be big.
Our users are saving anywhere from about $50 to $100 per week for families.
And it's specifically catered to the user. All it needs is the family size, store preferences, and dietary requirements.
We try and buy gluten-free and mostly dairy-free if possible.
This mom of two says it's been a game changer at the checkout.
It's pretty easy to use, user-friendly, very straightforward.
Her favorite part is the unique recipe ideas. Tonight's dinner will be chicken shawarma.
The recipes were, not causing me to go and find 11 different ingredients and things that I probably would never use again. Or things that, I know my kids wouldn't even try.
I may see olive oil and say, no, I have that at home.
Van Niekerk says Scrimp is proof AI can be used for good.
Ethical AI instead is showing that there can be this coming together of human ingenuity and what the AI can provide, which is also why Scrimp doesn't make their own recipes. We actually use recipes that exist on the internet.
Right now, it's only available for users in Kitchener, Waterloo, and Cambridge, but the goal is to expand throughout Canada so more people can cash in on the savings.
Scrimp is looking to expand and connect with any influencers or chefs who want to share their recipes on the app to give more meal ideas for users. Tony.
Sounds like a good idea. Okay, Heather, thank you so much. CTV's Heather Senerin live with that story. And time to update our top stories on this Monday evening. Leanne Evans back in studio with us tonight. And Leanne, we're going to begin at that murder trial that's connected to a triple stabbing in Kitchener almost 3 years ago. That trial got underway today.
Yeah, Tony, Dylan Morera has pleaded not guilty to second-degree murder in the death of his girlfriend and attempted murder in the stabbings of his mother and his girlfriend's 7-year-old daughter. First on the stand today was Waterloo Regional Police Detective Matthew McPherson. The court was shown pictures he took of Morera and his mother in hospital on the night of the alleged stabbing. The coroner who performed the autopsy on Morera's deceased girlfriend is expected to take the stand tomorrow. 3 weeks have been set aside for this trial. A community in Guelph is grieving the loss of a 38-year-old mother. She was fatally struck by a pickup truck Friday afternoon while walking with her family. It's prompting a call for action from the community. Neighbors have created a petition pushing for a traffic safety review. Police say no charges have been laid at this point and the investigation is ongoing.
We want to highlight something our digital team has over on the website too, Leanne. This is a decades-old tradition at the Schwaben Club in Kitchener, and it was happening over the weekend.
Yes, bright and early Saturday morning. Lots of members hard at work over there at the Schwaben Club, preparing hundreds of cabbage rolls ahead of Oktoberfest celebrations. This is a tradition that began when the club was born back in 1930. So you can find out more about the history of this tradition and also watch the video from Saturday over on our website, CTV News Kitchener.ca. Delicious Oktoberfest food being prepped and ready to go.
I love cabbage rolls.
I know you do. You really do love cabbage rolls.
And I make it known around here.
You'll have to try those ones at the Schwaben Club this Oktoberfest season.
I think I need to. I think it's written in the stars now. Okay? Thanks, Leanne.
Thank you.
A New Hamburg charity is making a global impact. The Mennonite Central Committee is sending canned meat to countries facing disaster and food scarcity. On this week's Made Right Here, we visit the local cannery where it's all prepared.
Hi, my name is Michelle Brenneman, and I serve as the Executive Director of Mennonite Central Committee Ontario. And today, we are in New Hamburg at our MCC Meat Cannery. Protein, especially shelf-stable protein that can come in a can, is really hard to find in times of disaster or war. And so we get requests to have that meat delivered and sent to those countries and those partners to be distributed to people in need. A typical canning day here at the cannery begins with raw chunked chicken ready for us in the refrigerated area, and cans that come through the area where they will be blown with air to eliminate any possibility of dust and debris. The can and the raw chunked chicken join together in our processing room. The meat comes in on a conveyor belt, meets up with the cans, where the cans are filled with raw chunked chicken and a teaspoon of salt. From there, the cans go to the steamer, which puts the seal and the lid onto the cans. And then those cans of raw chicken need to be cooked. So they go to the retort room. And in the retort room, about 700 cans can be cooked at any one given time. A retort is essentially a large pressure cooker, and the meat cooks in there for approximately 2 hours. When it reaches the right temperature, it comes out and is cooled. Once those cans are cooled, then labels are affixed and they are put in boxes where they're ready to ship to the places where need them. We started canning at the beginning of September, and we were excited to say that we canned 2,000 cans our very first week, and our goal for this first year canning is to can 60,000 cans. What we need are people to help us can meat and funds to be able to purchase the meat. And if we put those things together, the cannery and volunteers and funds to be able to purchase the meat, we can have a really big impact on our community here and around the world.
The CFL is moving the goalposts, literally. Coming up, what's behind the changes that will see Canadian professional football look a little more like the American game. A Canadian institution is going to begin looking a little more American after the CFL announced a series of changes to the game today. In an effort to make it more entertaining, they're literally moving the goalposts and making the field shorter. CTV's Raheem Ladani has more.
And now looks to throw over the top, in the air, on the money!
Canadian football has always defined itself by bigger fields, deeper end zones, and unique rules. But starting next season, the league is tweaking that formula and will look a lot more like the NFL.
Absolutely no percentage of these changes were made because of any type of comparison to the NFL.
While the commissioner insists he loves the Canadian game, two of the biggest changes that will come in 2027 align with American football. The goalposts, which currently sit at the front of the end zone, will be pushed back, and the field will be shortened down to 100 yards. The end zones are also shrinking, but will remain 5 yards deeper than the NFL.
The goal is to have the best game possible, right? And I believe we have that right now. And I believe we also are improving on that. So regardless of what it might look like, you know, to others is part and parcel, right, to, you know, how people take it.
Other changes that are meant to encourage offense will start next season. There will be a new 35-second play clock, benches on opposite sides, and a modified rouge that eliminates points for missed field goals sailing wide.
Kick is up. It's clear of the hands. Oh! Missed it, but it's out the back. We're going to OT.
Online, many CFL fans are expressing outrage, from describing the changes as garbage to saying it destroys what makes the league Canadian. And some say they're done watching.
It's kind of dumb that they're trying to be like everyone else, and instead of sticking to the CFL, they're trying to act like the NFL, see if they can get more money. But I think it's kind of bullcrap in my opinion.
However, others see this as a step forward.
There's going to be CFL people that are diehards. No, they're trying to make it an American game. They're not. They're trying to make the game actually better.
A toss-up between modernizing for the future or fumbling away tradition.
All right, that was Rahim Ladani reporting. Let's check in with Omar now in the national newsroom for a preview of 11.
Tonight, Jimmy Kimmel returning to late night. What Disney now says about why it's putting the comedian back on air. We'll have that and more later on CTV National News.
Chances for fog first thing in the morning. I'll have those details coming up after the break. Start your week of entertainment off with E-Talk at 7 o'clock, followed by The Big Bang Theory and then The Voice. Cap your night off with The Weakest Link at 10.
A Day is back on 105.3 Virgin Radio. Listen to Jeff, KP, and Backstage Ben for your chance to win $5,000
every weekday.
5K a day.
Virgin Radio.
All right, time to join Leanne one more time for a preview of what we'll have later on CTV News at 11:30. Leanne.
Tony, we'll have more from the Waterloo Catholic District School Board meeting tonight, where trustees will hear about a plan that will see the French immersion program at one Waterloo elementary school move to another. Also, homecoming celebrations at the University of Waterloo. We'll tell you what was on tap this past weekend and how the big football game played out tonight at 11:30. Tony.
It is a big time of year for football on every level. Okay, Leanne, thank you so much. And that includes tonight's game.
Yes, I know there's some of us that are very excited about football tonight.
Hey, I'm off tonight.
Hey, enjoy it.
All right, as far as weather goes,
yes.
Looks like this sort of threat of wet weather is going to be around us for
it's going to linger.
A little part of the week.
Absolutely. You know, it'll come in patches, come and go. So, I mean, it might look nice here and there, but you don't want that umbrella too far away. As we wake up tomorrow, Tony, we're expecting that there might be some thick fog patches. So just be aware that, you know, if there is dense fog, you want to have those headlights on if you're on your morning commute, getting the kids to and from school, certainly. But by 10, 19 and sunny. So that's above normal, which is our 18 this time of year. So it's going to be a nice warm day as well.
A slow but sure improvement, perhaps, as the week goes on.
Yes.
Okay, finally, this is exciting news. The Jays have clinched a postseason spot. They're officially in the playoffs with that win yesterday over Kansas City.
So good. Now the team has set its sights on the American League East Championship as fans are set to enjoy what they hope will be a long playoff run. CTV's Sean Leathon reports.
The champagne has been popped. After a win in Kansas City yesterday, the Blue Jays have become the first American League team to clinch a playoff spot. The news proudly displayed outside Rogers Center this morning with fans feeling
fabulous, absolutely fabulous.
I feel great. It's World Series or bust.
Love it. Feel right there, buddy. Right there in my heart.
Daniel Parrott from Newfoundland is a diehard fan who came here to check out the postseason merchandise. He says the team can go all the way.
There's always room to grow, buddy, but I tell you one thing, if you believe it's going to happen, it'll happen, man.
In the spring training and the first few games of the regular season, they didn't look very good, and I was ready to give up.
and then they turned it around.
For a team that finished dead last in the American League East in 2024 and was 2 games under 500 in late May, this season has been a remarkable turnaround.
The fact that they have the best record in the American League right now, it feels like it's been a struggle of a season, and yet they're better than everybody else.
Derek Burns from Timmins says the reason for the Jays' success, they never give up.
Blue-collar team, right? Everybody's doing their part. The pieces are coming together, and we're clinched the playoff spot with true grit.
From Kirk to Barger to Clement, like all the guys, they're just coming together, doing what they have to do.
Even this fan from Boston says he can admire what this Jays team brings.
I'm happy for the city. You know, I do love that home team vibe. So, I mean, if they do win, then we'll take them. We'll take anybody over the Yankees.
Yesterday's win ensures this team will make the playoffs, but there are still 6 games remaining, and the Blue Jays currently hold a tight 2-game lead on the second-place Yankees in the American League East. Winning the East could get the Jays a bye, passing the first playoff round.
I think they can definitely do it all. I think they work together so well, and they're such a great teammates together.
I already got my World Series ticket spot, and I'd have the plane booked, but I don't know the date yet.
If the Blue Jays are to win the AL East, they would clinch at home with all 6 of their remaining games to be played here at the Rogers Center. The soonest they could clinch would be on Wednesday. Now, that would require the Blue Jays to win their next 2 against Boston and for the Yankees to lose 2 in a row. Sean Leathong, CTV News.
All right, go Jays. And I loved watching when you were doing the weather, seeing that it looks like it's going to clear up by Friday because I'm taking my mom to the Friday night Jays game.
That. My mom actually had her birthday the last time they won on the championship. So that's wonderful.
Love it. Can't wait for that. Lots of excitement about a possible World Series run this year.
And if we can keep the dome open
a
little bit longer and enjoy it with the nice sunshine and, you know, maybe a little bit of warmer weather until then, we'll hold on to it.
I agree. Okay, let's keep that positive thought in mind as we thank you for joining us tonight. Ashley's got your next news at 11:30, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Have a good night.